in our world business news. A number of investors in Britain are snapping up rather bizarre assets, such as ex-military vehicles. The country's Ministry of Defence is currently offloading stock to raise cash as the government struggles with spending cuts. For investors with a more defensive approach, the sale comes just at the right time. With stocks and shares currently extremely volatile, all things military are proving a steady investment. According to experts, ex-military vehicles can even make better investments than classic cars because the starting price can often be quite low. Especially the older vehicles from World War II are popular among buyers, but also the newer models.
At the moment, I would say anything in the ex-military market is a good investment. If you look behind me, you can see some Willys Jeeps. This is the epitome of the investments in the military market. These could have been bought years ago, probably 20 to 30 years ago for peanuts, and now they're making anything from £15,000 to £20,000 each.
Jaypal Reddy, India's Federal Petroleum and Natural Gas Minister, said he is satisfied with the response by bidders to the country's new oil and gas blocks. India received 74 bids for 33 oil and gas exploration blocks. The government launched the 9th bid of the new exploration licensing policy in October 2010, and this licensing round was aimed at attracting increased private investment. The bids for the altogether 34 oil and gas blocks, which include 8 in deep water areas, 7 in shallow water and 19 onshore areas, closed on Monday. Since 1999, 235 blocks have been awarded till date. This has resulted in enhanced exploration in the past decade, from 11% to about 58% of the total Indian sedimentary basis area. Nintendo's launch of its handheld 3DS gaming system, the first device to offer 3D gaming without special glasses, was met with a big crowd, but competition from smartphones could threaten the Japanese company's future growth. The market for mobile gaming is rising. Research firm Gartner expects it to more than double to nearly $12 billion in the next 3 years. Nintendo is hoping to get a slice of the cake and have the 3DS rev up its flagging growth. In fact, the company hopes it will be a key revenue driver, but experts warn the 3DS does not offer some of the same capabilities as other pocket-sized devices. For instance, Sony said its next portable gaming device, the NGP, will also be a phone.
The struggle that Nintendo may have for pocket space, meaning that people will only carry so many things in their pockets. Now, hardcore gamers, people who are really into it, they may carry this. But then when you get to a certain level with kids, teens, certainly adults, like I have to have a phone, I have to have texting, I have to have phone calls. Do I want to carry a phone and this device?
Before we head back to news, let's take a quick look at the Asian equity, commodity and currency markets. And after that, Laura Buckwell is back with the news.
Welcome back. In our sports news, Ricky Ponting, the most successful captain in 134 years of Test cricket, resigned as the Australian Test and one-day skipper on Tuesday, but will continue as a batsman with the team. The 36-year-old, who has led Australia in one-day internationals since 2002 and Tests since 2004, had been under increasing pressure after an Ashes defeat to England and a quarter-final exit as defending world champions at the World Cup. Cricket Australia declined to name a successor, but Michael Clarke, who stood in for the injured Ponting in the final Ashes Test and for the one-day series against England that followed it, is expected to replace his mentor as skipper. Despite former players and pundits calling for him to step down for months now, Ponting said he had never been under any pressure from selectors or local cricket administrators to relinquish the captaincy.
As I said when I arrived back from India a couple of days ago, I was going to take a couple of days to have a really long, hard think about my future as Australian cricket captain. I've had the chance to think long and hard about it, and today I've decided to stand down as captain of the Test team and the one-day team as of now. The main reason for me with that is I think it's the right time. Getting through the Ashes series the way that we did, and the World Cup now being over, I wanted to make sure that I gave the next captain every opportunity I possibly could to make sure he had as much experience going forward into the next couple of big events that we play, which will be a one-day Champions Trophy within 2 years, and of course an Ashes series coming up in 2013-14. So I just felt that it was an opportune time. The possibility of me being around probably for either of those series is probably remote as well. So I just think the timing was spot on.
Meanwhile, former captain Kapil Dev admitted on Monday that India's bowling lineup was their weak link. But they had done well at the World Cup to date, so he was hopeful that they could overcome Pakistan in Wednesday's much-anticipated semi-final in Mohali. Speaking at an event in Kolkata that featured 6 World Cup winning captains, Dev, who led India to World Cup glory in 1983, told the gathering media that India would need a special performance to win. Former Pakistan captain Imran Khan believed the team that dealt with the occasion the best would emerge victorious. But Pakistan's 1992 World Cup winning captain said both teams should enjoy the experience because this fixture was unlike any other.
I again want, again and again, yes, my heart says something, the mind says it's not so easy. Let's the best team win. My heart will remain with India. I hope India wins. But again, if they have to win, they have to play extraordinary cricket to achieve that goal.
Suddenly, because of the extreme pressure both teams are under, and especially in this encounter, which is the pressure level is even higher than a normal World Cup semi-final because of the Indo-Pak situation. So the team that handles pressure better is going to win. And so it will. You would have some players rising above their capabilities because they'll revel in the pressure. Other much bigger names with greater expectations might not be able to perform. So it's not going to be a very easy game to predict.
Rafa Nadal and Roger Federer remained on course for their first head-to-head clash this year after easily winning their third-round matches at the Sony Ericsson Open on Monday. The two great rivals brushed past their opponents in straight sets to stay on track for a meeting in the semi-finals. Nadal, the current world number 1, eased past his fellow Spaniard and lefty Feliciano Lopez 6-3, 6-3 with a ruthless display, winning 67% of points on first serve and committing just a handful of unforced errors. Federer had to work a little harder though, surviving a first set tiebreaker, but the Swiss master was able to close out the victory in 1 hour 44 minutes. Nadal and Federer have not played each other since last season's ATP World Tour finals in London, but will each have to win two more matches to set up their next clash. Goalkeeper Rogério Ceni scored the 100th goal of his career to give Sao Paulo a 2-1 win over arch-rivals Corinthians in a vibrant derby on Sunday. Rogério, who holds the world records for goals scored by a goalkeeper, placed a free kick in the top right corner 9 minutes into the second half. The 38-year-old former Brazil goalkeeper, a reserve when his country won their record 5th title in Asia in 2002, was ready to take off his jersey as he celebrated. Sao Paulo had gone 11 games since 2007 without beating the Corinthians, but their keeper record strike spurred his team to victory in a match riddled with chances. And moving away from sport now, Andy Warhol's iconic painting of Elizabeth Taylor, titled Liz No. 5, is expected to fetch between 20 and 30 million US when it goes under the hammer at Phillips Dupuy and Company next month. Liz No. 5 was painted in 1963, which was considered a peak moment in the actress's career and a significant and creative period in Warhol's career. Michael McGuinness, the head of Phillips Dupuy and Company's contemporary art division, said that Taylor embodied the beauty and star quality of 1960s Hollywood that inspired Warhol. Throughout his career, Warhol continued to be interested in Taylor's life and her high-profile romances. McGuinness said the two struck up a friendship later in Warhol's career. Liz No. 5 comes from a private collection and had planned to be sold before Taylor's death. McGuinness said buyers in the US and Europe have already expressed interest in acquiring the work. And French Spider-Man climber Alain Robert began scaling the Burj Khalifa on Monday, his 128th known ascent to date. As the sun began to set in Dubai, Robert, sporting a pair of brightly coloured orange trousers, started his delayed climb. Using ropes and a harness, the daredevil started to pull his way up the side of the world's highest tower, which stands at a staggering 828 metres tall. Although the Frenchman has climbed the likes of the Eiffel Tower in Paris, Malaysia's Petronas Towers and China's tallest building, he said that the gleaming Burj Khalifa as his greatest challenge yet. Speaking before his climb, Robert said that he will continue his adventures as long as he enjoys doing them.
I am having fun. You know, I guess for me life is made to be something funny, to be something that whenever I wake up in the morning, I think I will enjoy the day because that's life.
And with that, let's take a look at the international and local weather forecast for tomorrow. And before we head out, here are the top stories again. Deputy ruler of Dubai honours winners of the Best Practices Award. Abu Dhabi summit to boost port and trade development. Ricky Ponting steps down as Australian captain. And Dubai government fund for stalled developments finances first project. Well, that brings us to the end of the bulletin. As always, please feel free to get in touch with us at news@city7tv.com, or why not call us on 04367 2230. And please do join our Facebook page. From the entire news team, it's goodbye for now.